on the Esplanade Trail in Orange, and we're with the Shatsy dog. Shatsy! She's just started coming out. You can see she has a little patch on her neck where she had a skin tag removed. So she's just getting back out on the trail with me, which is really awesome. I took Rocky Dog earlier this morning, and so I was just thinking about, just met a couple of lovely people, and sweet mama in Georgia, Satnam, they were on the trail, saw me recording, and we were talking about hungry ghosts, because it's becoming more and more evident to me that this hungry ghost of mine that screams that I've been feeding food to, and all kinds of things, you know, I thought it was sugar, and so on March 14th I decided to do a year without cookies, candies and chocolates, and I can say that I have not had one cookie, candy or chocolate since that date, and so it should be easy, right, because that was the thing that I was overdoing. But no, I just went somewhere else. So I have hold of the leash, but it's hard to say. So it's a bit like a sausage, you know, you squeeze the habit in one area and it pops out in another, right? I was writing a couple of years ago, and the phrase old habits don't die, they just get resurrected in new shoes, right? And so this is why I love the work we're doing, Get Your Happy Back, because it's about learning about your mind. So I noticed this. I was like, holy shit, I'm transferring the addiction pattern to something else, right? Because it's not the cookies, chocolates and candies. Those are just symptomatic of something deeper, right? And so the hungry ghost concept originates in Buddhism, and if you're not familiar with it, it's quite an amazing visual. So if you think about a ghost with a big head and mouth. I just want to walk around these people because they have a dog. Good girl. So they have this big round head, and then they have a needle thin neck, really, really thin neck, and then big, big bellies. And they've got this wide open gaping mouth. Oh! And that's what they do. The hungry ghost inside each and every one of us. That's its call. Oh! Whatever you give it, it can't get nourished by it because its neck is too thin to take it in. There's no amount that is enough. Let me ask you, is there any area in your life that no matter how much you have of it, it's not enough? The food is that for me. If I eat, it's not enough. And when I don't eat on my water fast days, you know, if I eat or if I don't eat, it doesn't make a difference to how I feel. I'm still feeling, oh! But if I do eat and I've gone over, then I'm feeling terrible about that, right? So what good is that? So I'm really starting to see that, you know, it's probably, 18 years ago when I did the marathon, and I realized that food was fuel. And I have been living that, but then there's these little, you know, these little things that I do, being human. And, you know, as I go down the line, they're not beneficial. So that my hungry ghost is, I'm just going to let her, I'm going to do my best to just let her keep going, ooh, and not filling her with food, and maybe in doing the other things that I'm doing. You know, when I get back home, I'll be sewing again. I got to go to the art walk last night in the skirt that I made last week, which just feels so good. I'm really enjoying that. And so feeding our hungry ghost with something other than food and things, you know, material things. Because again, you know, one of the things I learned from water fasting is when I'm not eating, I want to eat. And when I can eat, I'm not really that interested. So I want what I can't have, and I'm not that interested in what I can. So Go figure. So anyway, that's my hungry ghost, and I would love to hear from you. Do you have a hungry ghost inside of you? You know you do. How do you hear its call, and what do you give it? What's the salve that you use for yours? So mine habitually has been food. And I eat all my emotions, by the way. So it's not just when I'm sad, it's when I'm happy, it's when I'm celebrating. I mean, I can think of any excuse to eat, you know. And at the end of the day, that is how I was 220 pounds. And I firmly believe that as much as anyone will tell you that you can get rid of cravings forever, I don't believe that you can get rid of cravings forever, but I do believe that you can gather tools that will help you deal with them and recognize them and intervene and have interventions much quicker. So this year my interventions have been so swift, and so I'm still playing a lot of the same mind games, but I have a lot more tools, right? So that makes a big difference. So often we're just trying to work out how to get through this particular period, but what we're learning now can help us next time. So, you know, it's been 18 years on the other side of dieting for me. So 41 years of dieting total, and then 18 years of actually feeling better in my body, you know, finding things that help me feel better in my body as I'm going along. So, and I'm sorry if it looks like I'm not looking at you, I've got the camera turned around. So usually my lens is here, but today it's over here, and I just realized that, and I'm like, oh, I haven't even been looking at the lens because I've been looking at the stop start button. But anyway, I'm sure you'll forgive me. I'd love to hear from you about your hungry ghost. I am going to put the camera away now, get Shatsi home. This is hour 62 of my 5-day water fast, and it's going well. This is mile 5 of the day. I took Satnam Dev J. I took Rocky out for a walk this morning, and this is what's interesting before I leave about the water fasting is that hour to hour one can feel different. So I walked Rocky this morning, and I have noticed generally around hour 60 I start to get some lower back pain, some flank pain, and that's most likely the kidneys flushing out. You know, they've got a lot to do. When we don't eat, there's a lot of crap that needs to come out, right? And so I had that this morning. I walked Rocky for 2.5 miles, and then I just took a bit of a rest. I posted the daily Kriya and scheduled tomorrow's, and then I brought Shatsi out and did so I did 2 miles with Rocky and 3 miles with Shatsi, and now we'll go home, and then we'll come back out again this evening. And this is on, you know, day 3. We're going into day 4 of the cleanse this afternoon, like at 4 or 5 o'clock. So today, tomorrow, and break the fast on Tuesday. Went out to Art Walk last night, going out to community sound healing in Long Beach today. Never would have thought I'd be able to do all of these things and not eat. And it's not always easy. I'll come back with more about that. But for now, I'm going to let you go. I love you very much. Let me know down below what your hungry ghost says to you and how you've been dealing with it. I would love to know. Much love. Satnam.